Hi everyone, just thought I'd make a video of this field that I've created. So I've created a field that will seed and harvest in like a perfectly automatic loop, and you don't really need to intervene with the AI. They just carry on doing what they're doing, and like I said, in a perfect loop, so you never need to move them. You never need to restart the AI unless it rains. And yeah, it'll start from a certain place, then it'll work its way all the way back to the same place again and continue harvesting as long as there's crops there to be harvested or ground to be seeded, obviously. So you don't need any mods to create this effect. As you can see here, I've got this unusual looking loop. There's only, I'd say, 3 things that are important to get this effect to work. Obviously you've got this loop here that I said. There's the size of this area here, because if you've got your seeder turning here, let's say, and your harvesters turning here, because they make quite wide turns, they can crash into each other sometimes, and you'll have to intervene then. But as you can see, this has come back to its starting position and it's going to continue. Oh, I just need to stop that for a moment because it's caught up for whatever reason. I'm just going to dismiss the worker. So while I'm in here, I'll show you. I've got a 10 kilometre an hour cruise control set on here. That's to stop it from catching up with the harvester. So yeah, the harvester only runs at 10 kilometers per hour, so if this was running at full speed, which is 16 kilometers per hour, it'd catch up. I believe it's 16, it might be 18 actually, but either way it'd catch up. So I've got the cruise control on here so it doesn't catch up with the harvester, theoretically, but sometimes you have to stop it. Sometimes the harvester stops and starts if it rains and stuff, so occasionally you might have to slow this down a little bit so it doesn't catch up. Now once again, since I'm in here at the moment, I'll tell you about aligning the two to each other. So if you look at your harvester right now, you always want your harvester ahead of the tractor, or ahead of your seeder, should I say, with a 1 row gap between the two. That's important because if let's say the tractor was on this row at the moment, when this gets to the end and decides to turn, they might get stuck on each other. And also if the harvester had just turned or whatever, and let's say the seeder had just started this row from down here, the two are coming towards each other, the harvester would get stuck on the tractor and you'd have to intervene then. So it's important to have them behind, or it's important to have the tractor behind the seeder, should I say, so then you never have to worry about them. Another thing about the harvester and seeder, both of them are using a 9 metre head, and that's important because you need the harvester and seeder to both follow the exact same pattern. And that pattern is from my start here, they'll go up, they'll come down again, up, down, up, and as they get to the end here, they'll turn here and they'll overlap this edge just slightly. It doesn't matter how much overlap you've got as long as you don't leave any crop down on this edge. Like you can have half of your harvester head going off the edge if you wanted to, but it's just a bit of a waste, isn't it? So you may as well just get your harvester just poking off the edge of it. And what this does is, when you get down to the end here, because there's no crop here, it sees there's more here and it reverses its direction, so the entire time it's been going this way, and when it gets to the end here it'll start travelling this way, and then it'll end up back on this route here, as you can see here. So yeah, I can't remember if I said before, but the dimensions of the field are critical. So each one of these rows is 9 meters. Not that there's any way to be able to measure that in the game, but basically it goes up here, down here, up here, down here, up here, and down here on the final row. But there's no reason it needs to be this width. I've got quite a long field just because these lights let me illuminate the whole field, and it's like nice and easy. But there's no reason you can't have a wider field, just have more rows. So you'll have an up and down, and up and down, and you could keep going a little bit further if you wanted to, or a lot further, as long as the final row is a down row and you end up a tiny bit off the edge, like I was saying before, and then you've got this loop here that brings it back to the start. So I'll just show you the seeders that I've been using, or sorry, the seeder and the harvester head that I've been using. So it's that one, that's the cultivator seeder all in one thing. It's 9 meters wide, and here's the header. Is that the header? No, that's not the one. That's the header I've been using. So it's 9 meters as well, and that's the important bit. These are just normal ones in the base game, but if you can find some modded ones that are the same width, then there's no reason you can't use them. I've only gone with this 9 meter one because it's the largest one in the game that matches perfectly with a particular size seeder. So yeah, my game settings, I'm running the game at 120 times speed so the crops grow faster, and I've also got the growth on, where is it, the growth's on fast. The AI buy everything for you to make it easier. Plant withering's off, although it probably wouldn't matter because you're harvesting them all more or less straight away, but you can do that on or off really. Crop destruction's off, ploughing's off just to make it easier for myself. Lime's off and weeds are off. I think that's about it. If you want any more details on how I've done this, leave a comment in the comments, obviously, and I'll try to get back to you at some point. But yeah, I'm probably not the first person to discover this, because Farm Simulator's a fairly old game now, isn't it? So, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. So yeah, I'll see you later.